I'm on the site of the fan zone, which is nearly finished. The two halves have got to meet in the middle, and there'll be some special memories down here as well, I'm sure of that. Responsible for the construction of the fan zone is project manager Dave Ruddy. Dave, this is clearly a very intricate part of the whole project. You've got a few skilled fellas working on this, I would imagine.
Yeah, indeed we have. Yeah, as you see, a lot of work's going into to try and close up the two halves of the Eastern Fan Plaza now. We've just recently shut down the main vehicle entrance and swapped that over to come in now through the north turrets, which enables us to close off the two halves together. You'll see just behind you here, you've got the guys installing the reclaimed rail track, which is part of the heritage compliance for the scheme. Very high emphasis on the engineering part of that in terms of setting out and make sure everything fits in where it should do. And then once the rail track's been completed, then you'll start to see the paving close in around that, which then frees up other things like bits of street furniture, completion of the street lighting column installation and all that good stuff as well. Yeah.
Is that why you've had to do it in two halves to enable vehicles to get in through that entrance there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the logistics on the scheme are quite difficult. Obviously, there's a lot of activity on site. I think at the moment we've got about 1,200 guys on site across the park. Multiple vehicle deliveries coming into site every day. So yeah, it's about trying to maintain that equilibrium between keeping the job fed, also keeping guys safe while we're working. Particularly in this inclement weather that we're having at the moment. Yeah.
I love these railway tracks. They're very much a part of the whole thing, aren't they?
Very much so, yeah. I mean, to date, we've installed about 1,800 linear metres of the reclaimed rail track. It's like a massive jigsaw, very difficult, very heavy bits of kit. So you're quite reliant on machine activity to place them. But it's a testament to the skill of the guys we've got on the ground. To how they've got in, relatively straightforward, given the complexity.
Like a lot of other parts, other components of this whole project, it's a little nod to the history of the area as well, isn't it?
Very much so, yeah. So obviously the rail track was used back when this was a working dock. It was feeding coal coming in from ships and back onto the trains and to be distributed further afield within the Liverpool area. Yeah.
Are you confident, supremely confident, that the two halves will meet perfectly in the middle?
100%.
What sort of capacity are we looking at? How many fans will we get in here on a match day?
Well, obviously the stadium capacity is just a touch over 52,000, so you'd be expecting the majority of people to be coming in through the main entrances off Regent Road. So you will see the lion's share of people coming in through this area and hopefully using it as the space it's intended to be.
The whole stadium is in a fantastic location on the banks of the Mersey, and this fan zone area, again, it's a wonderful location, isn't it?
Oh, it's superb, especially you can imagine in the summer, first game of the season, the atmosphere is going to be absolutely bouncing. It'll be brilliant.
Is everybody counting down now towards the first game? Is that started?
For us, it's more about counting down to getting to that point of practical completion for the scheme. But yeah, certainly the Evertonians amongst us will be always looking for that first game, yeah.
Some of the bricks have got what seems to me to be blue flecks in them, Dave.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. So the bespoke Kellen paving, which is the architect's design intent was for that to mimic what the water used to look like. So when the light hits it, it sort of shimmers. So it'll give you that really good aesthetic, feel for what the job used to look like before we turned it into the stadium. In total, there's about 45,000 individual tiles that get put in as part of that build. There are 6 different mould types, 9 different surface texture finishes, so given a total combination of 54 different flag types. So they all go in a very bespoke pattern, and it'll give you that overall impression of a water type feel. Yeah.
When do you reckon you'll be able to stand back and go, right, that's it, that's the fan zone finished?
It's probably going to be towards the back end of the summer, in all honesty. Obviously there's a lot of interface with what's happening with the facade. You can see in the background there the barrel cladding still being installed, so we have to get the timing just right so that we don't put the paving in too early and then run the risk of damaging it through trafficking it with cranes and other heavy plant.
How exciting a project has this been for you, Dave?
It's amazing for me personally. I'm from Bootle, just down the road, so born and bred. So to be putting something back into the local community is absolutely fantastic, and to also be building a stadium of this, this magnificence it's brilliant.
When I first came down here, one of the first people I interviewed was a diver, because it was literally a dock, and for me, with no idea about construction, this is an engineering miracle.
Very much so, yeah, it is. From what we've done back when we took possession of the site back in July 2021, to fill the dock in with the fluidised sand, go through all the compaction, and then crack on with the southern superstructure build. It's a testament to the skill of the guys on site, and the dedication of the workforce.
When it rains down here on the banks of the River Mersey, it rains. When it blows, it blows. So it's a testament to the commitment and the sheer skill of these guys to create something so beautiful.
Yeah, very much so. Particularly the guys working in the external realm. We've got no protection from the elements. They're out in it from 7:30 in the morning till 6 at night. You do feel for them sometimes, but they thrive on it, and they love getting stuck in and getting the work done and completing it to the right standard.
Looking forward to the summer.
Very much so.